See what's happening and we'll see what's happen. Okay, so we only fill in this space because with Instagram, doing what Instagram does, we have to give it time to catch up. I want to say it's like a 10 to 15 minute delay, whatever. Feels like forever when you're live on one stage and the other stage has to catch up. But let me not get into that. Let me do what Gwendolyn does. And we're going to cue the music. Oh, man. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jack. I know it's a mouthful, but I like all of it. I like all my syllables. And you are tuning into Girl. Listen. Now, we are streaming live to Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And if you're on the other platforms, I'm just saying, YouTube personally is a better experience. That's just me. But we are there. So before I get into our topic and talk about some things, and we're going to go personal. Now, I said what I said 2 weeks ago because now Girl Listen is coming to you live every other Friday. We have so much going on, I got to give myself some time. I got to put a little breaks in. I got to put a little pause in there, right? But before we do that, I thought about my confetti celebration when we were last here, and it was good, but I was highly disappointed, highly. So I decided, why not come back and do it again? Because the other day, as I was doing my other live, because like I said, I got a lot going on, I brought out the big guns, and it was so amazing. I said to myself, Gwendolyn, you're going to have to do the confetti pop on Girl Listen one more time, because that's just how it is. Now, I'm covering my drink because when I say this sucker pops everywhere, no, it pops everywhere. So with that, don't drop it. Don't drop it. That's called alcohol abuse. Okay, so I've got my confetti cannon, which I love. I actually do keep extras of these in the house. I got mine at Party City, just a little FYI. They are the best. If you got a birthday coming up, the kids, whatever, I say get them, celebrate all your wins just because you got up this morning. Some confetti, put it out there, right? So with that said, let me turn it. Let me see here, because again, we're so excited about being here. We got to see one more day. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. I love it. See what I'm saying? That's what I wanted. That's what we should have had the first time around. That's what I'm talking about. I got to go back. And get myself like another 3 or 4 of those. Now, one of these days, I'm going to tell you right now, Ma, I'm going to tell you right now, one of these days when I go down to Houston and the nephews and nieces are in the house, I'm going to bring some confetti. My mama might have my head. Trust. But that's the pop you want to welcome in your season. But we're going to use it to welcome in this episode. I'm so excited because we're talking about some different things, but it is related to relationships. So trust me, all of this is going to come together. It's going to all come together. So just be advised, this is not some off the chain topic. It really does all work. So let me get into the comments really quick. My mama is here. My mama's always here. I appreciate that. Mother was always here, father was always here in the crowd, doing what they do to support their daughter, and I appreciate it. So hello to my mother. Hello to you. Erica is here as well. Confetti is just fiber, right? It is, but I don't want it in this one. Now, let me just do a quick little shout out to what we are enjoying today. Today, we're doing Harlem champagne. We're doing Harlem champagne today, right? Now, at the moment, I can only get a Harlem champagne in New York City. So I have friends. I have friends who I ask to ship it to me because that makes it easy, right? Like that's what I want to do. But yes, we're having Harlem champagne. So I don't want that. I don't want it in this glass, but it is a beautiful, beautiful champagne. If you're in the area, I highly advise you guys to check it out. They are on Instagram, so check out Harlem Champagne. Just a little thought there. Erica also says that, girl, let me tell you, clean up for days. I haven't even cleaned up from Tuesday's foolishness. So it's all kind of mixing here together. Clearly, I don't have any kids in this house because, yeah, that's how we work. And Mary, hey, Ma L is here. Hello to you, Ma L. Thank you for tuning in. I so appreciate it. And let me just see what's going on. Oh my goodness, we have Melissa Rice in the building. I don't think you guys know how that woman has touched my heart. Hello, Melissa. Thank you for tuning in. So it's going to be one of those conversations today. You may have to clutch your pearls. I don't know. You may have to clutch them. But I'm just letting you know that I'm going to go to some places that you probably didn't know that I was going to go. But I gave you guys fair warning ahead of time. And let me just say this. While it's on my mind, next month, I got a special guest coming up. I'm going to have Gary Jackson join me on the stage again. And the month of February. Because I kind of feel like good to have a different perspective, and it's February. So we're talking about Self-Love Day, Valentine's Day. We're talking about dating apps. We're going to get into it, and we're going to let Gary represent the men. So keep that in mind. Next month, Gary Jackson, he will be here on Girl, Listen. That is what we got going on. So I'm just going to tell you, that should be a good one. It should be a good one. Now, but what we got going on today, I know you guys saw the topic, but we're talking about it. It is, how comfy are you with number 2? Where does that come from? Here, let me tell you real quick. When people talk about couple goals, I get it. Everybody wants to be booed up and they want to have somebody hold their hand and all this stuff. But that part that people kind of forget about is that when you're sharing a space with somebody, we have habits. Everybody has habits. And one of those habits just happens to involve how you operate in the bathroom. Now that could be brushing your teeth, combing your hair, clothes, all the things. But human waste is one of those things that, although you may say, really don't want to talk about it, you got to talk about it. Like, you come in wearing diapers, right? If you're blessed to see an old age, whatever that is, you go out wearing diapers. Hey, it's full circle. So today we want to get into the one thing that when people fantasize and romanticize being booed up, that they kind of forget. It's that sharing of the space, and it's that little topic that some people get icky about. Now, I remember when I was a freshman in college, they sat us down for our first dorm meeting, and it talked about, there was this kid, I don't know if it was real, you know how they make up stuff as RAs, but there was this kid who refused to empty his bowels, ended up in the hospital, all kinds of extra constipated, like the whole 9 yards. You know how they make it a little exaggerated, but their whole point was to say, hey, you're gonna have to go. Like, you're gonna have to go. So we're gonna talk a little ish for a little bit really quick. What is normal for one may not be normal for another. There isn't a definite number. Everybody's body is different, but you should know your habits. You should know, right? And things are getting blocked up. you're going to have to take care of that. Like I remember as a kid when we joked about like not eating prunes because prunes will clean you out. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't deal with prunes or like prune juice. Or if you were one of those kids who like to do practical jokes, you put X-Lax in somebody's brownies and have them eat it, and never did it, never tried it, was never a victim. But I only, it's the 80s. We did all kinds of stupid stuff. But being comfortable about what goes on in your gut, knowing when you're regular, knowing when things are kind of out of whack, it's what you got to do. And typically, for a lot of us, when we move into a dorm room or move into someone else's home outside of our family, because as siblings, you just kind of deal. Like, we just dealt with it. I don't know, what you're going to do. But when you get to a shared common space, all of a sudden, you start feeling some kind of way about what is very, very natural. Why we get in our feelings about it, I'm not really sure, but we do. Before we go into this topic, we got Ron Foster here, who's already having a good time thinking about the topic. At the end of the day, it's a natural thing. It is very natural, right? And I know that my husband, when we got together, it kind of, I don't want to say it shook him. I do believe it took him by surprise how matter of fact I was when it came to talking about human waste. So the kid who didn't want to take care of all of his natural duties at the dorm room, some of those people still have those concerns. I'm going to say concerns as an adult. I have read stories. I know some people who don't feel comfortable doing what needs to be done in public spaces. Even at the workplace, they would much rather drive down the street to a store, a gas station, a local hotel, some other place, do what they got to do, and then come back to the office. Quick little side note. As a person who works in retail for a number of years, the morning browser who would walk into our store around 9:30 in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning with their Starbucks cup, we already knew they were coming in to blow up the bathroom. We were fully aware because coffee will move some things. So will apple juice. Okay. So if you're having your morning cup of joe, just know not too soon, you're going to be relieving yourself. I mean, if you drink those kinds of drinks, it helps you stay regular. So we knew that they really were just browsing and coming in to use our bathroom before they went to wherever they were going. It was understandable. I get it. And we had really clean bathrooms, right? Next to Buc-ee's, we're on that list. So we got it. Right? But when it gets a little funny is when you're dating someone. You're dating someone and your gut starts doing like the gurgle thing. You know what I'm saying? What do? Is this the time to run out and try to find a hotel, a gas station, or something to like do what you got to do and empty the bowels? I don't know. Personally, my answer is no. If it's coming, it's coming. And if any of you guys in the audience are runners, nothing gets your gut going like running, right? Talk about a natural enema. You're running. Everything is moving at that point. There's a reason why some of the habits of runners are kind of disgusting. Actually, they're beyond disgusting, okay? But we're just going to be open and honest about what's going on with the gut. So you're out with somebody, maybe they're making you dinner, and it's just not sitting well. What are you gonna do? So the stories, there are, and I typically hear it more amongst young women or just women in general, that they do not want to pass gas, have a bowel movement around their partner while they're dating, And I don't know what happens afterwards. Like if you happen to get married and move in, I don't know what happens there. But while they're dating, there appears to be this sort of illusion that I'm a frilly something and I never pass gas. Now, y'all, we are literally passing gas, I think, every second of the hour. I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there for you. Like these are natural things. These are very natural things. And when you get booed up with somebody, you move in with somebody, when you marry somebody, hear me. All the things are gonna come out in the open. All the things. So if you don't put a handle on it right here, right now, before you say I do, then it can get a little funny and get a little awkward. But I have heard stories. I know some people who would much rather put themselves some other place, try to hold it in, which is not good for your gut. Can we just say that? Versus letting it all out. But when you're with someone, it is what it is. So let me go to my comments really quick. We got Gary Jackson in the building. Gary Jackson, again, he will be our guest next month on Girl Listen. We're so excited to have his take on some of our topics during the month of love. Happy to have his take on it. Erica says here, hey, a neighbor's child is 7. Is that 7.5? Okay. And still pees and poops their pants often. Doctors keep just feeding her laxatives and saying she needs to just empty her bowels. They're saying it's a biological issue. Okay, now, real talk, we know that there are gastro issues with some people. And I have to wonder, for those people, there is a place where you have to be more open and honest about what's going on in your gut. Like, you just have to be. Like, do you have to? Have to is really hard. But I want to believe that if it is an issue, like IBS or what have you, you're discussing this on a consistent basis because it impacts the way you operate throughout the day. So I know it may seem as if this is just a simple topic that you don't have to discuss, but it does impact some people's lives on a daily basis. So it really is a serious topic. We're not going to joke about it. I'm not going to talk about it. It really is a serious topic, but we're looking at this from a perspective of a couple, because people love to do the whole booed up thing. But if you decide to get with someone, and there is this thing in marriage vows about sickness and health, and that also goes for caring for your loved ones. When my husband's grandmother lived with us, at that point, she was 95. It's a little harder to get around and do some things at 95. And sometimes she just have an accident. And God bless my husband. He would say, hey, when I get home, I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to clean this up. What we're not going to do is have human feces hanging around the house until you come home at 5 o'clock. We're not doing it. So caring for your loved one, caring for your partner, it requires getting into the icky things. For those of you who are parents, that's all babies do the first, 6, 7, 8 months of their life. Like, isn't that about it? I'm just saying. So over on Instagram, we got Lisa in the building. Hello, Lisa. We got D Tuggle, Classic C. Jibs is in the building. Yes, G is live on YouTube. I'm under GR Houston Jack on YouTube. It is there. He said, D Toggle says, just go, stop fronting. I'm just saying. But there are people who create a little chaos for themselves when they choose to not be. As my uncle said, they just like to be full of ish. We want to keep it PG because my mama's watching. They just want to be full of ish. And before I forget, Brian Young Creative is also over on Instagram. So, as we talk about it, here's my deal. And I know people are thinking, this is just impossible. I want you to look it up. And there are studies, papers have been written that couples that are comfy speaking about bowel movements tend to be the happiest couples. I know. Crazy, right? Because we're at a place where we are getting really into what makes us us. Now, I don't know about y'all, and you don't have to share all your business with me today. It's because I get it. Our names are attached. I'm okay with it because I'm already going live. All right. So I've signed off on my foolishness. But we all have, I believe, a morning routine, right? We may have an afternoon routine. We may have an evening routine, but we have a routine. And when you decide to share a space with another human, you might want to talk about what your routine is. You may want to talk about it. Now, I'm going to do my quick sidebar. And I know Erica has already told me to get like a little music. We're going to get a music, but I want to talk about my sidebar. When I was working in the office, some holidays I gave a gift, and I'm going to show it really quick. I gave the gift. Poopery. It's the gift that keeps on giving, right? Because everybody can use it. I don't care how old you are. It is the gift that makes you feel good. Now, we keep it in our bathrooms, right? Both for ourselves and for the guest. I keep a purse size in the purse. So if by chance I happen to be out, and let me just say this, there was one holiday when I'm just surprised we got back home, but we were stopping on a consistent basis. I had my friend in tow because it was just like the gut was just not being kind. You know what I'm saying? So we keep it in the bathroom. We keep a little one in the purse. At all times, we are ready. When I travel, there is one when I travel. I have my routine. Now, my husband, our very first trip together, I believe it took him a little off kilter. He was like, wow, that's TMI. Because we were not married yet. It was like our first road trip together to Minneapolis, went to Paisley Park, and we shared a hotel. And I had to have my things for, when we are traveling. And that includes poopery. Sometimes, depending on where we're going, I like to have my own toilet paper. I do keep a travel stash in the car. It's by Charmin. You can get it. It's on the travel aisle. Because when people say they got 2-ply, it's not. It's a facade. I have my own little idiosyncrasies. So yes, I have my own toilet paper. And I don't know about y'all, but I travel with the wipes. Yeah, this stays in my luggage. I just want to make sure when I am traveling that I am comfortable at all times. That's what Gwendolyn does. Now, my husband doesn't do that. It's not where he resides. However, Gwendolyn does what Gwendolyn does. And I don't mind doing it because whether I'm in a hotel or at my home, I want to be comfortable. And so when we got together, I had no problems discussing what his routine was. I didn't ask about salary. I didn't ask about other things. I'm like, say, bruh, are you regular? And what does that look like? I just want to know. I took it for a loop. I think maybe a couple of loops because it's not exactly the conversation that you typically have with women, but I just feel like I want to make sure we're in a good place if we're going to be in this relationship together. That was my thought. So poopery is my friend. Again, I gave it out quite often as gifts to my coworkers, and we're at the workplace. And I will say this, in the workplace, we started putting bottles in the stalls. You're at work for like 9 hours. Now, if you live close, maybe you could go to the house again. Some people would go to like the local hotel and do their thing. And I mean, hey, when it's coming, it's coming. There's just no way around it. Let me get to some of these comments here. So on Instagram, Brian, he said, I found you on the YouTube verse. He also says, my ex-wife would bring a full bed sheet set and swap out the hotel sheets. You know what? I will tell you this. When I was single, I would travel with that, and it's called SLA spray. So I could spray down the mattress and my luggage because it also kills bed bugs. We have what we have. So I understand exactly where she's coming from. These are the things that we do. Over here, we've got on YouTube, Ron, Gary has said hello to Ron, my mama, and Erica. And then, of course, Erica's like, hey, Big G. Cass Lou says, hey, excuse yourself and make a dash for it. I'm just telling you, because I know we've all been there. Don't act like we have all been there where you're just trying to get to the house. It's like, if I could just get to my house and do what I got to do, I'm going to feel so much better. It does feel better when you can be at your home. I have called out from work when the gut's not gutting. And I'm like, look, today is not the day for me to come to the office. Like, it's not happening. I need to be close to my bathroom. Now, you can say those things to like your manager. Hopefully you guys have that kind of relationship, because I did. And so I'm working from home, but I got to be close to the bathroom because, ish happens. And it happens fast when you're sick. Castle also says, what did I walk into? What did you walk into, ma'am? Let me tell you, we're discussing being comfortable with having the bowel movement conversation with your significant other. And papers have been written. It is out there. You can go look it up. Couples that have no issues discussing their bowel movements and their programs, they're happier couples. Because if I know that my husband needs his 15 whatever minutes in the morning, then that can help me make my morning, right? Or in the evening, or people, like, we all have our way of going about some stuff. The more honest you are, the better off you are going to be. And Gwendolyn believes, I'm really TMI. My husband's like, babe, I don't need to know. I don't need to know all of that. Like, I love a good pot of red beans and rice, a little cornbread, sometimes some fried chicken. And so depending on my mood and what's going on, I'm like, babe, feeling kind of gassy tonight. This may not be the night. And of course he's thinking that's not how I want to see my wife. Like, I just don't want to know it, but thank you for sharing. I just let the brother know. It's, hey, things might be happening that you just want to be aware of. That's all. Nothing wrong with being honest. Ron says, you're in a great relationship when you can talk poop and farts. Yes. Hey, my husband. No, you're never. Hey, Danny, you're never late to the party. We just getting started. You just getting started. My husband, he is, oh my God, he's so gracious, and he wants to just make sure he's not a burden to somebody. So he was sick about a few months ago. He was sick. I wake up to my husband on the bathroom floor. He's like, no, I'm fine. I'm good. Don't worry about it. And I'm thinking, how do I even attempt to go back to sleep with him on the floor? So we get him off the floor. He wants to be on the sofa because he's like, I just need to kind of be upright. I'm like, okay, great. But he is regurgitating. And his idea is just leave it there. I'll take care of it later. That's a no for Gwendolyn. It's a no. And the fact of the matter is, when your loved one is ill, be it your child, a family member, your spouse, you're going to have to get into those things that you're like, oh my God, do I have to do this? You have to do it. You are cleaning up behind someone. You are cleaning the bed sheets. You're taking care of the trash, whatever it is. You're emptying out the trash can, like all the things. You're going to have to do it. That's love, right? Love is not always this amazing, beautiful, seamless thing. There's some bumps in the road, and it gets kind of ugly, right? It is what it is. So get used to all the smells, all the sights, and all the sounds of your family members and your significant other. The sooner you do it, the happier you'll be. Because at this point, we are almost 8 years in. It don't bother me anymore. It no longer bothers me. Castle, it is what it is. Good point. It is what it is. Hey, shout out to Lisa. Hello, healing. I still try to not fart in front of my husband. See, now Lisa, I don't understand. Because sometimes it's coming. And not to be crude, but the silent killers, Hey, it is what it is. But on a serious note, it can be a biological function. And this is why babies use Pampers and seniors have Depends. It is. We do know that there are some of us who have gastrointestinal problems, what have you. So it can impact how you live your daily life. You guys see the commercials. You see the commercials. It's not a joke. It is very real. So depending on what you have to deal with, you may have to craft your life around where the nearest bathroom is. Now, granted, there are now drugs involved. There's ways to figure out how to make things happen. But Crohn's disease, it's not a pretend thing. It is real. So as soon as we get comfortable as a society discussing what is very natural, the happier we all will be. Yeah, he says, thank God for mama. Yeah. Hey, for those of you who are parents, God bless you. Like, I'm an auntie and I'm a grandmother, right? But I still have those auntie vibes. I don't mind changing the diaper if I ain't got to do that duty. Trust. I'm good with, like, okay, I love my grandkids. I get that. But if you were like, hey, you want to hold so-and-so, I got to check the age. Like, if we're at a place where you can't, like, go on your own, then yeah, I'll pass. Love the babies though. Love the babies. She says, Erica says, I didn't fart in front of mine either. He, however, feels he must share his wealth. It can be stereotypical, but we make it seem as if for men and young men, the boys, it's okay to just be free with it. Women do the same thing. Trust. Get over it. Just get over it. Now, Lisa says we can have separate bathrooms. I have seen people even discuss having separate homes. That too can bring about a happy marriage. I don't understand. I don't get it. I mean, I get having space, but really 2 different houses? I can see having your own bathroom though. That can make sense. If you happen to have a partner that is really bad hygiene habits, cleanliness, that kind of thing. This, and I know I'm older, and so people would talk about like shacking up and that you shouldn't be shacking up. But the plus of moving in with someone before you like tie the knot, if you go down that road, is you see their habits. And some of these people, I've only married my husband, but some of these people, some of the habits, might want to pass on it. All right, Castle says yes on a serious note. Oh yes, it's biological function. We talked about that. Let me go. Ready. Danny does say she loves the SLA spray. I'm telling you right now, for those of you who travel, SLA spray kills all the things. Bed bugs, gnats, roaches, ants, flies, mosquitoes, all of the things. I traveled with it because I could spray down the hotel and I could feel good and spray down my luggage because bed bugs will go for a ride. Remember that. Hey, Peggy McCarthy is here, our headshot strategist. She says, just got to a place where I can commit. She is loving this. Cass also says, sometimes you can use a toilet spray. She uses lavender blossom from Grove Company, natural products with no toxins. Some scents you can get cannot spray to the mask. Have to clear the air with something non-toxic. True. And we have gotten better. Like, you can get any of these products in a grocery store at this point. We have moved away, and all of you guys know when you've been to somebody's house and they have like the spray, like the Glade or the Lysol, you still smell it. And it's even more obvious now because it's all over the air and you're trying to mask it. Doesn't work very well. Does not work very well. And for my colleagues who would hide in the bathroom until everybody left the bathroom, right? Like they would be in the stall, the very last stall, and try to get it all done and would wait till everybody leaves so that nobody knows it. Look, it happens to all of us. You either gonna get it out or you're gonna be full of it. Okay, cannot mix toxins with toxins. Yes, I agree with that. Lisa says she doesn't go number 2 in public. I try not to, but like I said, we were on a road trip. I didn't have an option. I was like, babe, pull it over. find the nearest gas station. I have got to go. I mean, when I tell you it was bad, y'all. We stopped like at least 5, 6 times. It was bad. So sometimes you'll have those moments where you cannot get to like the house. And even then, I took over driving at one point. I was speeding to get to our house. When I got to the driveway, opened the door, I just barely made it. It was bad. So sometimes you got what you got. I'd rather be at home as well when more comfortable. If you know you're sick, stay home. If you know you're sick, go ahead, stay home. You don't have to worry about it. I know it's not the best reason to stay home. It is a great reason to stay home because it could be something else. It could be like a stomach virus. Stay home, call it a day. Don't worry about it. But sometimes you're at work and then things just happen and you have to get home somehow. You have to wait it out. If you're driving yourself, you're like, let me just see if I can make it. Maybe I can't. And be done with it. Cass is like, to Lisa comment, let it breathe. I'm just saying, you gotta let it out. And is it a mental thing? It could be. I don't have that problem. Now, I was also a half marathon and marathon runner. And if, like I said, if you're running, you're juggling all the insides, it's coming. There is no holding it in because your insides are all jumbled up. And as a runner, I would run on an empty stomach. I would not eat. Well, I would eat like 6 to 7 hours before so I could have an empty stomach. I didn't want anything in my gut. I know you guys have seen the videos about athletes that sort of lose it as they're running on the track. Oh yeah, it's real. It's real. When it's coming, there's nothing you can do about it. It's loose. It's gliding. It's just gliding. She said, I'm on to the open. This is Erica. And the hubby is also honest and open. Doesn't have to share what comes out of his rear with me. I don't want to know what's going on, but just, know your habits. Know your habits. That's what we're saying. Know your habits because it's a very natural thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Believe it or not, oh my God, we are clearly past 30 minutes. We got to wrap this sucker up. We gotta move this along. But let me get some comments from our other friends over here on Instagram. D Togo says, I carry wipes. Yes, the wipes, life-changing. You got wipes as a baby. You got them as an adult. Don't act like y'all don't. And we keep them in the guest bathroom too. Just saying. Yes, Classic Jibs also says, I always have my wipes. She has a child, so it's a given. I'm just saying, but hey, it works for all of us. It works for every single person. Some elderly also use water pills for inflammation and have to make sure with certain time that they're near the bathroom. That is also true. Thank you, ma'am. D. Sogo says, I hate getting to the door of the house and look for the keys. I have had it where if I would leave the office, I would empty my bowels before I left the office. There's nothing worse than being in traffic and you gotta go and like you have to like unhook the seatbelt because it's pressing against like your gut and everything. And every start and stop is like it's the worst. That and rain. Rain just makes it all come to the forefront. It's just one of those things. And then lastly, she says, Classic Jim says, aerosol sprays are no good, especially for those with allergies or asthma. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. Again, don't need those sprays. We don't keep sprays in our bathroom. I believe we have a few because grandma had some in her room, but sprays in the bathroom, we don't have those, but we do have the poopery. We do have that. Let me get these last comments. We're going to wrap this sucker up. Brian Young Creator says, I am over here now. Hello. He says, between you and Ron, this whole Instagram live YouTube ain't good for my adult ADHD. I've always said that I prefer YouTube over Instagram. Instagram has its place. I don't believe video is its place. That's just me. But for those who want to like kind of do an audit, you know how you like audit a college class? You can audit the college class, see if you're feeling it. If you want to, jump on over to YouTube or on Facebook and come. Agent said they're trying to kill us. I typically watch most of my YouTube things on the TV screen. I mean, it's like the best thing ever to watch YouTube on your television and just have the big screen and just vibe out. And if you've got 4K, even better. You know, what can I tell you? But it's great. It's great to have you guys here. What can I tell you? Gary says, that's what I was going to say. The silent killers. You got to go to the corner. Nothing wrong with it, but you have to sit by yourself with that. Yeah, you might want to, or at least give people a notice. At least give them a fair warning. Now, we do road trips. I do. If it's my husband and I do not kill us by just letting it go. But I'm clear to say, hey, it's time for a bio break. Because I just walk around like the gas station and sort of stretch my legs and let some other things out, you know, kind of free some air. And then I'm very picky about what I eat on the road trip. Because, you know, if you get the wrong road snack, it's going to be bad for all of us in the car. Every single one of us. but those are, it's what happens. Dana says, I think that after a certain amount of time, you should be comfortable with farts and poops and everything around your spouse or a significant other. I agree with that. I completely agree. Like, at what point do you get over it? Like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You know, the body is what the body is. She says, I don't like people touching my stuff. So a separate bathroom is always on the wish list. That and a separate closet for sure. Definitely. I wouldn't mind a separate roast. I wouldn't mind a separate bathroom. I mean, you know, we're not too bad, but it works. We also have Spencer here in the building. Hello, Spencer. Thank you for tuning in as we wrap this up. Not hiding in that last stall. These are real stories. I know you guys know it. I did it even when I was in the dorm room. You know, you go like the very last stall, like, because, okay, so at an FIT, we had, our last stall had a bathroom window. So you can crack the window. I'm just saying. And if you're not cracking the window, I know some of y'all are like burning matches. Don't act like y'all don't know. Like, we've all thought about, how do we go about not letting somebody know it's happening? We're past it now, people. Let's get past it. Let's get past it. Let's just go ahead and put it out there that it's happening. It's going to happen. And if you are not, you might want to check the doctor and get yourself like all together. You might want to make sure that things are in a good place, that you're not, you know, full of, as my uncle says, full of ish. Thank God I haven't had that happen to me. Is there a rinse around? I'm trying to tell you, people. There are just moments when it hits you and it hits you. You're like, ooh, you kind of like tighten up a little bit. Okay, I'm giving too much. Okay, last ones. I'm gonna run them. I'm gonna run right through. Spitz says, I came late and now I'm wondering what the hell did I walk into? I'm just trying to tell people, how comfortable are you with number 2? Lisa says, we just went to the bathroom with a group. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's Erica. Erica says, we went to the bathroom with a group. He says, I thought this was a conversation about a side chick. Number 2. No, Spencer, we're not talking about affairs and things. Although, somewhere during the year, there is going to be a conversation about people who clearly want that poly life, but continue to get with people who want a monogamous life. And why do they do that? Because there's websites for it. There are now things for just about everything. So if that's what you want, why not do that? Why? But I don't want to go there. But that is on the list, sir. We're not talking side chicks today. No side chicks. Needed to laugh. This was great. Glad I logged in. You know, where my brain goes, it goes there. And my husband, I really do. I have to thank him for putting up with me because I just go places that he doesn't always want to go. And again, the way that he sees it, he doesn't want to know all the things about his wife and what's going on. He wants to see me as this beautiful, soft something. And I'm just like, bruh, I found 2 chin hairs today, which is probably not what he wants to hear either. But this is the life that we are living, people. This is where we are. I'm still just as beautiful. We're just as beautiful, but it's the chin hair now. This is where we're going. I don't know what to tell you. No mustache, but they're coming in just a little bit. I'm like, God. So, what can we say? Are we going to act like it doesn't happen? I mean, I'm not going to be that chick who lets it just grow out. Like, we're not doing that. So, yeah, I gotta I gotta tighten it up sometimes and make sure it looks good before I go on camera. All right, so Running Young Creator said, the gas station sushi is not a road trip food. A former girlfriend found out the hard way. I can't believe she had gas station sushi. I would never. What? Yeah, that's a definite no. You don't. First of all, it's sushi, which I love. So you should be very specific about where you're eating that kind of product. Come on now. Really? Gas food sushi? That's a hold up. I've got I've got Mylar all on my mouse. It doesn't want to move. all of the confetti is in the way. Okay. So let's I'm gonna put a bow on it. Let's put a bow on it. These are the real facts about relationships. These are the real facts. Okay. It is true that if you and your significant other, your spouse, your partner can talk about your habits and how you operate in life. My husband hates doors. He hates doors, right? He does not close the door. I know he's been there because the door is got kind of ajar. I know he's been there. It is what it is. The shower door, the bathroom door, the cabinet doors, the kitchen. It's just, but I never fussed about it. And I don't even get upset because it's just who he is. But living and sharing a space with someone else, even your siblings when you were kids, it takes a lot. Takes a lot, but the sooner you can have this conversation about your normal routine, the happier you will be. Just gonna put it out there for you. Do I believe that my husband and I are in a really good place? Yeah, because I talk all the time. I'm like, bruh. And I will say this, he has slightly eased up on being so proper. Every now and then he will say, yeah, I guess I'm feeling kind of gassy too. Yes, we're both feeling gassy. Ha, ha, ha. Who would have thought? Okay. So it will work out. It'll definitely work. It'll definitely work out. So let me say this as we wrap this up. I do want to just say again, every 2 weeks, we are going to be here on Girl Listen 4:00 Central. That will be on Instagram Live, YouTube, and Facebook. And in the month of February, we have Gary Jackson Jr. He's going to be talking with me about all the things in regards to relationships. And it's actually pretty cool because we're in 2 different places in terms of like our personal life. So who doesn't want some really good conversation about how different genders and ages see a specific area of life when it comes to love? It's going to be good. So tune in. And those are going to be at a special time. It's going to be 7:00 Central. So be sure you tune in for that. Last comment of the day goes to our friend Ron. Says gas. Thank you, Ron Foster. Thank you for bringing that to us. I want to say a shout out to everybody who was tuning in from Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I am Gwendolyn G, our Houston Jack. I want to thank you all for giving me your time and riding this wave of foolishness because it's what we do. See you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you for watching another episode of Girl Listen. Be sure to tune in every other Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we also invite you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.